Completing the quartet of sexy vehicles, the Tesla Model Y has not only been Tesla's fastest vehicle to market, it took less than a year from its debut to its production launch, but it also stands to be one of the most lucrative models for Tesla looking forwards. Why? That's simple. Model Y combines the much-lauded drivetrain, power electronics and interior of Model 3 and turns it into an SUV, putting Model Y into one of the most popular automotive market segments around the world, that of the mid-size SUV. And while Tesla has suffered some significant teething problems regarding quality control in early examples of Model Y, its second quarter figures show that, despite those teething problems, and despite COVID-19, demand for Model Y has remained pretty high. As is usual with Tesla's vehicle rollouts, reservation holders who opted for a higher-end Model Y were first in line to get one. While some might think that's because they paid more for the car and thus should get it sooner, the reality is that entry-level models make less profit for Tesla. In fact, the same is true across the entire automotive industry. Selling the more expensive models first helps an automaker recoup its development and setup costs more quickly than selling cheaper ones. For reservation holders not willing or able to shell out the extra cash for Model Y dual motor performance, however, there was the promise of the entry-level Model Y, the Model Y standard range. It was a car that Tesla promised at the original Model Y reveal event would go on sale in the spring of next year for a sticker price of $39,000. Given how much similarity there is between Model 3 and Model Y, the standard range Model Y was meant to be based off the standard range Model 3, a car that Tesla technically offered, but which you had to go through a series of hoops in order to order. For those interested, a series of hoops in this case translated to calling up Tesla and placing an off-menu order for what was essentially a software-limited Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus with all of the options locked out. And it only really existed so that Tesla could meet its promise of making a Model 3 for $35,000. But Tesla didn't make a similar promise for the entry-level Model Y, save for advertising it at initial launch. And thus, over the weekend, Tesla unceremoniously cancelled the standard range Model Y, with Elon Musk noting on Twitter that, quote, range would be unacceptably low for a standard range Model Y, less than 250 miles EPA. Instead, Tesla reduced pricing on the next cheapest Model Y, the Model Y long-range dual motor, and Musk promised that Tesla would be launching a single-motor, long-range Model Y in a few months' time that would, quote, improve affordability while still keeping the product excellent. The reality of this all, though, if you want a Model Y now, the cheapest Model Y you can buy is the Model Y dual motor long range, which will set you back $49,990. That's more than $10,000 more than the previously quoted entry-level price for Model Y standard range, and doesn't even include the Standard Range Plus, which has also been discontinued. If you were waiting for that entry-level Model Y, I'd understand if you feel like Tesla has pulled a bait and switch. Honestly, I think anyone in that situation would feel like that, and frankly, I'd question Elon's assessment that under 250 miles per charge is not enough, especially when 200 miles per charge through to about 250 miles per charge is what most other automakers who make EVs are offering. To make this video useful though, let's try and add some context. Let's explain why this isn't exactly unexpected from Tesla and detail why it might just be helpful for the rest of the auto industry. But first, let's clear up something really important. Tesla does not make cars that are necessarily affordable. It never really has. The Model 3 is about as close as it's come to that. But while Teslas are not necessarily cheap, they are fantastic value for money. People conflate the two all the time, and while there are cars available for less, the Nissan Leaf, Hyundai Ioniq EV and Mini E come to mind, none of those models offer the range of the performance of Model 3. And if value for money is your only concern and you have the extra money to buy one, Model 3 and Model Y are ideal choices for you after all. You get access to Tesla's supercharger network, and you have the potential to upgrade your car's features after purchase if you so wish. While the rest of the auto industry are looking to do that, though, nobody else is quite there yet. Next up, I should acknowledge Tesla's practice of changing entry-level models. As far back as the Tesla Model S, which originally was going to have an entry-level $49,000 40 kilowatt-hour model, Tesla has revised its lineups between launch and production of said entry-level models. In the case of the Model S 40 kilowatt-hour, it switched to a software-limited 60 kilowatt-hour variant for those who really wanted just a 40 kilowatt-hour battery. And Tesla tended to upsell everyone else to the more expensive 60 kilowatt-hour model anyway. With Model X, its planned 60 kilowatt-hour model was similarly replaced by a 75 kilowatt-hour battery pack version with a software-limited pack. That meant it could only use 60 kilowatt-hours of capacity, and you could upgrade to the full 75 later for more money. And with Model 3, the promised $35,000 standard range model, which was laid out as a no-frills model before launch, was replaced with the Standard Range Plus, which included the same electrically adjustable seats of higher-end models for just a little more. And those who really did want the entry-level $35,000 version, well, they could order one off menu, and because of the lower cost, the heated seats and other functions were switched off by a software lock that could later be upgraded by owners for a fee. Again, with little insight here, it would be easy to accuse Tesla of never intending to offer those affordable models, and I'm sure in the case of Model Y reservation holders, the idea of having to pay extra to get their car is not a pleasant one. I totally get that. But in dropping the model, Tesla is actually helping itself to shave unnecessary expenses. If it's true that there are as few standard range Model Y reservations as there were Tesla Model 3 standard range reservations, it makes total sense for Tesla to drop the model. If not because of a low range, I still dispute that idea, then because of the extra costs associated with producing a lower performance model. For every option and every variant made, the production line process is made more complicated, and for an automaker seeking to remain lean and increase its gross automotive margins, dropping an unpopular model before it's produced does have some sense of logic to it. Granted, that won't help those who genuinely wanted one, but here's where I think this could all end up playing out rather well. Over the next few years, plenty of other automakers are expected to bring more affordable mid-side crossovers to the marketplace. Ford is bringing its Mark-E to market with the entry-level model expected to retail from $43,000 which, I'll grant, is still pretty expensive, but it's still cheaper than both the new entry-level Model Y and the newly promised long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y, which Elon Musk has hinted would cost about $45,000. $2,000 difference between these two models isn't much though, and as I've said earlier in this video, there's a big difference between affordability and value, and frankly I'm not sure Ford will be able to match some of Tesla's value in that $2,000 difference. There are other options, of course, as well. Nissan is bringing its Ariya to the US, the reveal for which is in a few days' time. It's conceivable it could come in at under Model Y money, and I'd argue that it would need to in order to sell. Then there's the Volkswagen ID.4, which we know will be likely also coming with a budget-oriented entry-level model. Value or not, though, it's likely that these other companies could take advantage of the new higher entry price point of Model Y to bring more affordable, cheaper models to market. And that could give everyone more choice. I know that some of you will be laughing at that sentiment. After all, Tesla is a long way ahead of most of the competition. But if this encourages more automakers to fill a void with more plug-in models, well, maybe it will get more people plugging in. I can live in hope, right? That's it for today's video. I am glad you stopped by. If you'd like to help us make more videos like this one, please do like, comment and subscribe. And you can support us by using any of the 3 links below, which now include Ko-fi, Patreon and Bitcoin. Don't forget too, if you're feeling vocal, that you can chat with the rest of the team on Discord. There's a link below for that. And if you're a Patreon supporter, in addition to the free Discord chat, you'll also get access to special Patreon-only Discord chat rooms. Thanks to the folks scrolling by on my right. They are our charged up patrons. Thanks also go to Jeffrey Songster, John Lyons and Regine Fellows, our self-driving patrons. And thanks to our Starman level patrons, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, JP Fagerback and Sean Udea. If you are looking for something else to watch from this channel, then please check out the recommendation from Google on my right, and I'll be back soon with more great content for you all to enjoy. I hope too that you enjoy the better lighting this week. The new lights have arrived. Until next time, wash your hands, stay safe, and work to become a better kind of person, strive for equality, and remember to treat others as you'd like to be treated. Oh, and please, please wear a mask if you're out and about. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, keep evolving.